Right off the bat, I'm just gonna tell you, Celina ISD. This is some of the best pricing on decent sized homes that you can find in the area. So let's take a look. All right, this is gonna be the South Lake floor plan. This is actually the same floor plan as the model. And stick around because the model has what I'm gonna call the best spot for teenagers. So if you have a teenager, they'll want to see this option that you can do with the South Lake floor plan. So let's take a look. So coming in, you're greeted with a nice wide entryway. To the left, you have second gen living, but for 2 bedrooms. So if you have kind of a larger family staying with you, this is perfect for guest side. So they have room there, which in the model is set up like a nursery, and then their bathroom. Nice little shelving closet there. Then that front room with the natural light. Now there are many options you can do when you build this, like a 3-car tandem garage. This one does not have that. It's just the 2-car garage, but still pretty spacious, right? So right off the garage, you have going to be your powder bath. This is the one closest to the door that's not, you know, kind of assigned to a room. And this is your utility room. So yeah, then we make our way to the main area. Nice and open, plenty of seating. It's kind of your dining area. And then what I like about this floor plan, it has the office kind of more involved, you know, with the rest of the house. You tell me, would you rather an office at the front of the house where you can kind of see who's coming up, you know, a little safety, or have this view where you're in the office, you can kind of see what's going on. You can shut the doors if it's too loud, but you're still in the party, you know? As an extrovert, I like this option. You know, just be more present. If I have to get some work done, still kind of see the party and see what's going on. All right, so you have your vent hood. The island is in the sink. So if that's not your thing, well, try somewhere else. Then double oven, you have a decent sized corner pantry. Adequate, I would say, for the size of the home. And then kind of closed off back this way is gonna be your master. I like that separation. Now there's a feature here that I think can help solve some issues that you might have or keep you from fighting really. And that's gonna be this first closet. So this can be maybe his closet. I don't know, it's pretty deep. So mostly hers, but some his. And then through the bathroom, you got another one. Yeah, you tell me, splitting up the closets like that, is that gonna do wonders for your relationship? I mean, a really tiny closet for both y'all could, I would say, do wonders for your relationship too. I've done that. And then of course, we love the infinity mirrors and a nice shelf to try not to put all your crap on. So yeah, that is the kind of base level South Lake floor plan. Like I said, when we get to the model, I'll show you something cool you can do for kind of an upstairs area as an option. And then that 3rd-car tandem is an option as well if you build that. But I wanted to get into more details of pricing right away. So I'll jump back to the desk and just kind of show you what we're looking at here. Alrighty, I wanted to come back to the desk and explain a few things about the numbers and payments. And the reason being, you'll go online or somewhere and see tax rate here is 2.85%. Now don't click away. I know some of you probably did, but the builders know this and they still want you to buy a house. So they are helping you out just a little bit, a lot really. So first, let's break down why that 2.85%. So City of Pilot Point is 0.64, Denton County 0.19, Salina ISD 1.24, and this neighborhood does have a PID, so that brings you to 285. So like I said, the builders know that. They understand that that is just crazy. That's just what it is. Good thing about PID is it does go down in time. So what they've done is they have lowered the prices of the home significantly compared to what you can find 5-10 miles away from that. And they have at least Pacesetter right now, the one that we looked at, is doing a rate buy down. And so kind of what that means is they put in a bunch of money, millions of dollars, to be able to buy that rate down. So instead of that 6.25 that you're seeing, they have starting at 4.99 conventional, or 4.75 FHA. Another thing that they're doing, and I'll throw the graphic here, they are paying off closing costs, so you still got to bring the down payment, but they're covering the closing cost or doing a 2-1 buy down, but you still have to qualify at the 4.99, 4.75. So 2-1 buy down, if you're not familiar, means first year is going to be 2% less, so 2.99, next year is going to be 3.99, and then 4.99 after that. So let's do a little bit of math here, showing you on the screen. So say we got a $450,000 house, so a little bit above that smallest one, a little bit below that biggest one we looked at. 5% down payment, interest rate's going to be 4.99 for 30 years, and that tax rate, yeah, it sucks, 2.85. But all in all, that brings your total to under $4,000. And if you are used to looking at payments and prices in this Celina, Prosper, Frisco area, you know that's pretty decent. It's high, but it is decent. But obviously these are just numbers to play around with. I am not a mortgage broker. If you need a lender, we have a fantastic one I'd love to connect you with. But yeah, just wanted to step in and talk pricing just a little bit so you kind of understand where we're going from. So let's head back to that house. I already hope that pricing helped make a little bit more sense of why this is such a great opportunity. Sorry for the echo. I am in the office of the next floor plan I wanted to show you. This is the Grapevine 2. I don't know if you can see it, but it doesn't quite back up to a greenbelt space, but you have a pretty decent view, kind of a flat view. That's Texas sometimes, but yeah. So this will kind of be a fast run through, but this is one of their bigger 2-story models. So I wanted to show you. It is almost done. They're working on the tiling for the fireplace surround. So I'm gonna kind of brush past some of that. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys this option. So let me know what you think. Like I said, we are here in the office. The office is in the back of the house. So we're right by the porch here. Then this is going to be the big open room. I don't know if you see that balcony up there and the stairs. But let's go through that another way. Sorry about the sound. There's a feature here that I really love when homes do this, and it's through the master. So let's take a look. This is the master bedroom with the bathroom. Sadly, this one only has the one closet, so you may have to fight over it, but just kidding. It's still huge. Like, there's plenty of room. But through the closet is the utility room. I love when they do that. And that brings you back out to the open area. And there's that kitchen. Additional counter space over there. Decent sized pantry. This is going to be your 2-car garage, kind of a side entry there. And then like that first floor plan, they have a room up front, but unlike that one, it's just the one room. This is going to be the bathroom. All right, so let's head upstairs because that's what makes this one a little bit different. So that's a feature you don't see very often. You got a stair closet, 1 step up, and then nice tall ceilings. I don't know if you can tell there, but it's actually a little vaulted. And then they got the attic access door down, so you can kind of see that. But there's going to be a bathroom. So right off that landing, it's a bathroom. Shelf closet. Got your first bedroom off the bat here. Deep closet. This is where it kind of gets fun. So you tell me, what do you think of this shape room? It's kind of a L shape. And no, there's nothing back there. It's just, that's the shape of the room. And here's the closet, another walk-in. Yeah. You ever seen a room like that? That has a duck. And over here, it's gonna be your media room. Let me show you that as you walk through. So you're kind of secluded back over here. Now, they had to do one window. What is this window? Like, do you want to look at a window and the TV? Do you want glare or glare? Just don't put it in, you know? It's not that hard. Alrighty, moving on to the next inventory home, and then we have that model to show you some of their finishes and also that really cool bonus area that you get. All right, so that was the Grapevine 2. This is gonna be the Copel floor plan. So one of their smaller ones here, but by no means is it small. That just means one of the lower priced homes that you can get in Celina ISD, which is fantastic. So let's take a look. All right, what are the odds they left it unlocked for me? Hey. So they got the 2 rooms right off the bat. So we got front door, room. Once again, great guest space. Kind of mirrored from that south lake. There's your utility. Third bedroom by the front. So that's a little bit different. Also with an ensuite. So yeah, you got the rooms kind of up front. This one may be a good option for someone with limited mobility because it's right by that garage. So something to consider there. Then you got your office. So a good amount of the living space and working space is here in the front. So that's kind of nice. Let's turn some lights on. All the lights. Here's your big open space. Got an extended patio, so that's nice. So it doesn't just go back there, but also out in front of this area. Once again, decent view back there. Kind of see for miles. It's awesome. Okay, there's your kitchen one more time from the nook area. Decent sized corner pantry back there. And then the master. So yeah, this is one of the smaller homes, but I think a great use of space. Love that window bench. Yeah, if you're looking to be in Celina ISD, this is probably one of the best prices that you can get in. You know, and still be with a builder you can trust. One that we recommend. Closet's decent, good closet space. So yeah, what do we think of the Copel? Pretty good floor plan. For a 4-bed, that's nice. All right, so let's head back to the model, which is again that South Lake floor plan, and I'll see you there. Alrighty, we're at the model. This again is that Lovelace floor plan. Wanted to show you something kind of cool. This is usually sold as a 1-story, but it does have an option for another half-story, essentially. So let's take a look. All right, to the left is the sales center, but that's gonna be your garage. So we can kind of pretend we're coming through the garage here. Got the bell and everything. Love that. And that's gonna be your powder bath and utility. Then over to the side, kind of like we showed you on that first one, you have the 2 rooms. Nice little nursery, love that. But even from here, you would think, oh, maybe it's a 1-story vaulted ceiling. Kind of cool, right? And here's kind of what that looks like with the dining nook and the office back there. Nice little secluded. I'm gonna call it extrovert's office because, I don't know, just right here. You're at the office and you can just kind of see everything. That's nice. I love that. Now, if you need quiet, they make headphones for that. Right? One difference here, you have some under the stair storage, decent amount there, that floating bar. And of course, this is the model, so everything looks beautiful. You got the extended flat work past the patio. I'm sure they'll do that for you, additional cost. One difference here is up there you have a balcony. Now they do have an inventory home with this option that I didn't show, where that's closed off. So if sound bothers you, that would be a good option. Yeah, back here like usual was the master. Here's it all dolled up, as I would say. Yeah, pretty close to what we saw in that inventory. Let me move to Teenager's Paradise, because I sort of had something like this growing up, but this would be next level. And not just because of the cool stuff. Skee ball, shuffleboard, nice little window bench. Like, just check out this game room. But you also have the bathroom, another closet here, and decent sized room. So yeah, if you're walking one of the base South Lake floor plans and you're like, you know, I have 1 kid, I love them, but let's send them a little farther away, you know? Just kidding. That's not a punishment. None of that up there is a punishment. You go to your room. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just want to sit back here, recap some of the facts and figures of what we looked at. So the first home we looked at was the South Lake, and let me tell you, not only is pricing low, but they have reduced it. And so this pricing probably lower when you see this, honestly. So that first one we looked at was that South Lake 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2265 square foot. Right now they're listing that at $455. That's that elevation C, if you're interested. That second one that we checked out was the Grapevine 2 floor plan. That's gonna be the biggest one of the video. That was 4-bed, 3.5 bath, 2-story, 3029. That had that kind of bigger kitchen with that media room and the fireplace that they were finishing missing out. That one is $544, a really good price there. And then the next one we checked out was that Copel floor plan. That's gonna be, oh, there's one that's $10 cheaper, also Copel, but you get the gist. $439,000, Celina ISD, right? Yeah, tax rate isn't great, but with all the stuff that they're building out here, and all the stuff you're gonna get being here like 3-4 years, HEB's coming, it's a pretty decent option, especially considering what else is around here, right? You're not touching this pricing. And like I said, when you see this, it might be a little bit less. So I know this isn't for everyone, but I know there are people that could benefit from this place because it is, like I said, a really great deal, really great location for everything that's up and coming. Once that Dallas North Tollway gets finished, you'll basically be here just going up the tollway. So if you need to get down to Dallas, straight shot. Need to get to the airport, you're only like 30 something miles away. Fantastic location. But I know it's not for everyone. So if that's you, we'd still love to help you out. We're born and raised in this area. We know DFW. We'd love to connect your budget and lifestyle preferences with the right community and a fantastic builder for you, and just be that resource for your family. But as always, we don't know you need help until you reach out. So please reach out, and I'll see you in the next one.